Hi guys, Hana here. Today we're going to be drawing this little drawing, but before that I have a story to tell you guys. I've been trying to learn how to grow plants, and as you can see from this, I'm not doing the best job of it. My dad got me this chocolate mint plant from his backyard, and aphids just ate the thing up. I tried to save it by ordering a bunch of ladybugs from Amazon. You just shake them over the plant and they're supposed to kill all the aphids, but the plant was too far gone at this point and, well, it's dead now. But I had a lot of fun watching the ladybugs kind of crawl around, up my arms, all over the table. I think I was having a little trouble with the water. I've spent so much time out here just watching them. Fly away home, ladybug. Even though the plant ended up dying, the ladybugs still did their job pretty well, so I consider this a win for them. Now, to the drawing. There's a show called Miraculous Ladybug that is made for kids, but I think it's pretty cute. Since I was doing sort of a ladybug-themed drawing, I decided that I would do the main character of that show. So I am drawing sort of my version of Marinette / the Miraculous Ladybug in a costume that I'm kind of designing as I go along. I wanted to draw her a little older than she is in the show. Decided to give her just a little ponytail rather than the pigtails, although I do change that later. I wanted to make her outfit a little bit feminine and cute, so I did try adding a little skirt and didn't look quite right. You'll see several times I sort of redraw little ruffles around her hips and things, trying to figure out what I want to do, and it does end up turning out a way that I liked it, but she goes through several costume changes here. I also thought maybe I would have her sitting up on a wall. She lives in Paris, so it would make sense for her to be sitting on a building. But I couldn't get the background to work quite right in my head. You can see her, I start drawing the Eiffel Tower, and then I realized that from that vantage point she would be on a super tall building. So I decided that I would change it instead to her sitting on some little leaves. They're not specifically mint leaves, but I felt like it went with the theme of the ladybug sort of crawling all over the mint plant, having her sit on some little leaves. I don't know, it's sort of an arbitrary choice, but it looks cute. So here you can see I'm inking it. I'm using a zebra brush pen. I think this is the medium width one. It's a felt-tipped brush pen. It's fairly hard, so I still get a lot of control out of it, but it does allow me to have some line variation, which I do like. Here I start inking on the leaves in the background. I figured I would make them, sort of cartoony, just sort of a fun graphic shape. Then I started going back over Marinette's outline again. The pen does give me some variation, but like I said, it's a little stiffer, so it doesn't give me a whole lot, and even so, I do like going back and giving the main characters in my drawings sort of a thicker outline so they stand out more. And I erase all the lines, and I can start coloring. Now, I always get really nervous when I start coloring because it just looks like a hot mess for a little while and until I get closer to the end. So here I am. I'm using Copic markers. I'm in the middle of moving while I'm doing this video, so I don't really have all of my art supplies on hand. Some of them are packed away in boxes, and I'm kind of working with a limited color palette here. Here I feel like she looks like a character from the Flintstones. It kind of looks like she's wearing a leopard print outfit. In real life, the color is a little bit more of a pinkish red. You can sort of see the cap over there on the right. It looks a little bit more like that in real life. I couldn't get the color correcting to quite work, but you'll see what it looks like closer at the end. I start using the different shades of the gray to sort of give her legs some definition and her hair. Now, I'm not using a lot of colors for this. I'm basically using some grays, a couple of greens, a couple of like red paint colors, and some browns. But I want to get some dimension to it. I don't want it to be flat. So you'll see me later layering the colors on top of each other, but right now I'm just feathering the dark green in there. I think the camera cut out a little bit, so it missed a little bit of the shading, but I added some more browns into the leaves to get the shading. I wanted her to stand out a little bit more, so I used a darker brown. And here's what I was talking about. I sort of start layering colors on top of other colors. Here I am doing a thicker outline. I felt like she needed to stand out more from the background. And then I felt like the background looked too different from her, so I started giving the background a slightly thicker outline too, but not the entire background, just pieces of it, so it sort of looked more cohesive. Then I decided that Marinette just doesn't look like Marinette without her little pigtails, so I added another pigtail. Then I start going over it in gel pen. You can see that it makes it pop out a lot more. She's popping out against the background because of those little white outlines. And then I decided to outline the entire thing with this blue pen, which I ended up liking the way that it looked. I was kind of nervous that I was going too far and messing it up. But I do like it. And I feel like it makes the entire thing look a little bit more like one piece of artwork. And it matches her eyes. And of course, even though I signed it, I wasn't quite done. I had to go and do a few more little details. Added some blue in her hair, which again, I was afraid that I had ruined it for a little bit, but I ended up liking it pretty well. And here's the final product. You can kind of tell that I used a limited color palette. You can see some red and green in her tights and things, but I think that that makes a piece look a lot more cohesive. And of course, her cute little ladybug friend is an actual ladybug. I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm glad with how it turned out. So if you want to see more artwork like this, let me know by commenting, liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Hey, you need some help? Oh, okay, fine. I can't get up. Fine. Oh, no, I fell. That's your own fault. I can't get up. Help me. Yeah, come over me. Get closer. I can't get up. Get closer. If I scooch around to you, can you help me? Help. Yeah, come on. Okay, I got you. No, you're not helping anymore. You're making this complicated. Okay, get off my back. Get off. Off. Yeah, wait, don't. Okay, fine.